release the dietary guidelines for Americans 2025.
All hail the worm.
A saturated.
I want to see the unveiling. Hang on one sec. I thought this was going to show the actual speech. Here it is.
Welcome back.
I think it's this one. Yeah, here we go. Oh, come on. Show me the, here we go.
Because the food...
Everything's showing pictures in their thumbnails of the frickin' speech, and they're not showing the frickin' speech. Dear God. Here we go. Finally.
All right.
It's so obnoxious, man.
Dr. Carson, come on up.
Here we
go. Thank you so much. Good morning and Happy New Year, everybody. It's great to see you. It's great to be with a very packed room. I'm sorry we kept you all very busy over the holiday break.
Kind of looks like a worm, doesn't he? Like a earthworm baked in the sun. They put a little suit on him.
And I know there is a lot of news out there today, both here at home and around the world. I will be happy to take all of your questions on all of that news. But first, I'm really honored to be standing up here today with esteemed members of the President's Cabinet and his health team to make an important announcement with respect to the President's domestic promise to make America healthy again as we kick off the new year. In less than a year in office, the President and his incredible Maha team have made real progress on this front. Here are just a few of the significant Maha achievements thus far. More than a dozen food manufacturers and trade associations have made commitments to remove artificial and petroleum-based food dyes from their products. The Trump administration took strong action to bar hospitals.
Why is she dressed like a piggy bank from Toy Story?
From performing dangerous, irreversible, life-altering transgender procedures on children. The Trump administration announced funding awards to states through the Rural Health Transformation Program, an unprecedented $50 billion investment established under President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. The Trump administration has also worked with 18 states across the country to ban junk food purchases using SNAP benefits starting this year. And thank you for leading that effort, Secretary Rollins. Additionally, President Trump took historic action to secure most favored nation drug pricing and secured deals with major pharmaceutical companies to massively lower the cost of prescription drugs. And those effects are being implemented as we speak. Americans are going to continue to see the result of these incredible deals the president cut. And I know President Trump and this team behind me worked incredibly hard to lower those drug costs for Americans. On Monday, the CDC adopted common sense updates to America's childhood vaccination schedule based solely on the gold standard of science. This action empowers...
Prediction, by the way, just on the side note, because I'm just reading right now, apparently America just stole another oil tanker. Listen to this wording. U.S. forces seize fifth oil tanker linked to Venezuela. Linked to Venezuela. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, I can tell you what it means. It's not a Venezuelan oil tanker, is what that means. Your president is a pirate. Your president is a pirate. And he's actually openly declaring on Truth Social that he's just going to sell it privately. He's going to have his own independent management of it. I was talking to Brooks about this, and I think I agree with him. Here's the prediction. They are going to ravage your country and steal as much capital as they can. And in the very likely event, this is CBS News, and in the very likely event, that's what ragged is, and in the very likely event that your country collapses as a result, having captured all of that capital and destroyed NATO and destabilized all of its competitors, they will probably flee to Russia. Or somewhere. Because where can they not go? They have all the money. That's what people need to wake up to. The destabilization of your country is not a fail state for Trump. The destruction of your country is not a fail state for Trump. It's actually very likely a feature. It's actually very likely desired. Because one of the things you will notice is that Donald Trump does not react to anything that his opposition does.
At Jakek.403 superchatted $5.82. I guarantee you, Iran is next. They've got their internet shut off now as well.
It's possible. That's possible. It's perfectly possible. And by the by, this is especially funny for conservatives. I'm going to be having a heavy focus on political theory for the channel going forward. Why? Because there are a lot of very, very bad people who do what I do as a hobby, who are using that for extremely nefarious purposes. And they also are very bad philosophers. I'm thinking of people like Thomas Bogardus, Patrick Deneen, so on. It's very funny for them, actually, because these goobers are actually under the delusion that they are linked to people who actually want their vision of a society of an aristocratic, virtuous, antiquated style, noble Calipolis. They think that that's a thing that these billionaires want. And they seem to have completely ignored the fact that every element of social degradation is directly linked to what these people are doing with their capital. They are literally trying to replace them with AI. These people who are terrified of the influence of immigration on American culture are falling in lockstep behind billionaires who are hiding human trafficking networks and deliberately outsourcing labor to countries where they can get it for a slave's wage and keep it that way. They are literally trying to replace artists and writers and journalists and truck drivers and every kind of labor imaginable with computers. They are making it so that there are no channels whatsoever to voice your discontent with any service, anything, by referring it all to automated systems that defer all responsibility to those systems. They are creating circumstances under which there is such widespread resentment against conservative policies that whatever follows from this, it will not be anything resembling the type of virtuous society they imagine following from the left being defeated. And a major reason why they're still going along with it is because they are afraid of death. These are people who have spent their entire lives under the sustained delusion that they will live forever. That when they get cancer or die from RFK Jr.'s health recommendations, that they will then reincarnate in a magical theme park where they will live in a mansion with servants. And the problem is that they know this is stupid. So what to do when your entire world is a sandbox and it's all just blowing away in the wind and you can see it happening? Well, you focus on the parts of the sandcastles that remain and you defend them to the death, because that distracts you from the fact that they're sandcastles. And as for Trump, what does he get out of this? He is an old man who is so hated by the world that he is beyond redemption. And he also knows the people who follow him are very stupid, and so he has no respect for them. And so he wants to get revenge and run, because he is an old man, and he has no investment in the future, because he doesn't have one. So what is he doing? He's seizing assets, seizing oil, normalizing the public into accepting when a president just privately takes illegally gained resources from another nation for himself. He's going to sell it on the private market, and then he's going to run with it. And you will never see Those gains, that plunder will never be shared with you. Morons like Asmongold who are like, oh, we'll steal the oil to be good for Americans. You're not seeing any of that. You think he's going to share that with you? Why would he share that with you? He doesn't need you. The entire nature of the two-party system has resulted in a kind of political Dutch disease. One of the things that happens when you have a society that is entirely organized around the sale of one commodity is that its reliance on taxation, for example, and on the health of the society at large starts to degrade. Same thing with the two-party system. Because choices have been narrowed to a point where just mere opposition to the other side, whether to actual policies they'll be able to enact or to cultural bugbears like people who are fear-mongering about the transgender agenda, there is now no longer any investment by political parties in the actual health of their societies. There's a flip side to this, which is that just, by the way, everyone in the American government is playing the same game. They just don't have the positionality to just steal those oil tankers and run. That is why have you noticed how every single world leader, even ones who are being threatened, with the exception of Denmark, even ones who are being overtly threatened by Trump, are bending over backwards to signal that they are on board with his propaganda, that they are taking his view on Venezuela, for example. Zelensky did this. Very strange, isn't it? You think they aren't talking in the background? Like, do you think these people aren't sending each other messages and saying, hey, we're doing this, but if you say this or don't say this, we'll do this. No Justice had a great meme of Keir Starmer. Let me pull it up. No Justice is great, by the way. You should all subscribe to her. I love it. This is Keir Starmer's approach to diplomacy. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Although, realistically, his mouth's a little wide, isn't it? If we were going to be anatomically accurate, he'd probably be puckering a little bit more. Was that Sunday? No, that was Keir Starmer. What do you mean was that Sunday? See, I told you, they're all cursed to look like me. There is a God. Is that Sunday? Unbelievable. You're lucky my my marketing strategy is my bookshelf and not my looks. Okay. Let's learn more about how all of America is going to get coronary artery disease.
Parents and physicians to make the best individualized decisions to protect our children, while also restoring much needed confidence in our public health system. And as a Maha mom myself, I'm very grateful for that. So thank you, Secretary.
Maha, the French.
To build on this progress, the Trump administration is now updating federal nutrition standards and guidelines to ensure that Americans have the most accurate, data-driven information supported by science and hard facts, not special interests or partisan ideology.
Now, here is I can't get enough of this guy. I actually love this guy because it's like, listen to the man who's unveiling the new health plan. Just listen to him. It's like, it's beautiful. You couldn't like this. It's like comedy gold.
Today marks a decisive change in federal nutrition policy, made possible by President Trump's leadership and the work of Maha moms and public health advocates who demanded reform. Today, in accordance with President Trump's directive, Rook and I
They will accordance in President Trump's directives.
release the dietary guidelines for Americans 2025
All hail the worm.
to 2030, the most significant reset of federal nutrition policy in history. These
What tier do you think the sewer water is on?
guidelines replace corporate-driven assumptions with common sense goals and gold standard scientific integrity.
I feel bad for him. He's obviously like losing health points with every breath.
These new guidelines will revolutionize our nation's food culture and make America healthy again.
It'll make America healthy again.
For decades, Americans have grown sicker while healthcare costs have soared. The reason is clear. The hard truth is that our government has been lying to us to protect corporate profit-taking, telling us
The corporations have been lying to us. Actually, McDonald's is completely healthy.
that these food-like substances
I for one 100% endorse this, and I recommend that every single Republican listen to your government. They care about you and follow their health recommendations to a T. You have been lied to. Listen to the man. It's good for you.
are beneficial to public health. Federal policy promoted and subsidized highly processed foods and refined carbohydrates and turned a blind eye to the disastrous consequences. Today, the lies
I love this. I love this.
were beneficial to public health. Federal policy promoted and subsidized highly processed foods and refined carbohydrates and turned a blind eye to the disastrous consequences. Today, the lies stop. The new guidelines recognize that whole, nutrient-dense food is the most effective path to better health and lower healthcare costs. Protein and health.
I just can't. You can't emphasize enough that the person they put in charge of American health is a man who had a worm in his brain and who speaks like a disembodied smoker's lung that's been reanimated with electricity.
Healthy fats are essential and were wrongly discouraged in prior dietary guidelines. We are ending the war on saturated fats. Diets rich in vegetables and fruits reduce disease risk more effectively than many drugs. Whole grains outperform refined carbohydrates. Added sugars, especially sugar-sweetened beverages, drive metabolic disease, and today our government declares war on added sugar. Highly processed foods loaded with additives, added sugar, and excess salt damage health and should be avoided.
Wouldn't you just get someone to speak for you at this point? Like, is it really like that important? Like, really?
As Secretary of Health and Human Services, my message is clear: eat real food. Nothing matters more for healthcare outcomes, economic productivity, military readiness, and fiscal stability. The dietary
Yeah, you sound military ready, all right?
guidelines shape dozens of federal feeding programs, including Head Start. These standards affect 45 million school lunches every day. Meals for 1.3 million active duty service members, and food served to 9 million veterans in VA hospitals. Today begins the work of aligning those programs with affordable, whole, nutrient-dense food. Implementation requires coordination across the government. I'm working with many of my fellow cabinet secretaries to deliver
Like, just don't give a press conference. Just like have it be pre-recorded.
results. I want to thank Bobby Mukamala,
It's like, yeah, good food bad. Overly processed, good food good, overly processed food bad. Also, by the way, trans fats good. Fill your arteries.
Thank you very much. Who is the president of the American
It's
Medical
just you eat that lard cube.
Association for committing to mobilize the medical community on nutrition. And I thank also the American Academy of Pediatrics for partnering on this
It's like anti-ASMR. I am actually suffering right now.
effort. I also look forward to working with Dr. Jay Bhattacharya and Dr. Marty McCary to fund and prioritize rigorous nutrition research at the NIH and at the
Cis fats are not trans fats. Hey, we don't use slurs in this chat, okay?
FDA.
There are no cis fats. They're just fats.
The stakes are measurable and severe. A Johns Hopkins analysis estimates that 48%
Coronary artery disease is between a man and a woman, as God intended.
of every federal taxpayer dollar now goes to healthcare. The CDC reports that 90% of healthcare spending treats chronic disease. That means that 40%, 47.
I don't think he's alive. I think there's a complicated machine on his back with a series of tight, like, metal strings that's just animating his arms. I don't think he's there anymore. I think there's like a little bellows that you can't see sort of strapped around his back, like his lower back. And it's kind of that's pumping out the air from his lungs. That's how he's speaking. It's all being controlled by the worm. It's in a little pod at the back of his neck, like an Attack on Titan.
Of every dollar that taxpayers pay in this country is going to treat diseases that could be averted through good food. The United States has the highest obesity and type 2 diabetes rate in the developed world. We spend 3 times more per capita than the European
Look at this
nation.
man's face behind him. This man is dead inside. Just look at his face. This guy on the left. Just watch how frozen he is.
The European Union on healthcare, yet our life expectancy is 5 years lower, largely due to diet-related chronic disease. Our childhood obesity rate is 5 times higher than countries like France. 1/3 of U.S. teens have prediabetes, over 35% are overweight or obese, and 20% of young adults have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. 77% of military-aged Americans are ineligible for military service because of diet-related conditions. If a foreign adversary sought to destroy the health of our children, to cripple our economy, to weaken our national security, there would be no better strategy than to addict us to ultra-processed foods. It's shocking that our own government helped to drive these cataclysmic changes in our diet. The damage is real, it is preventable, and President Trump has ordered it to end.
Oh, good. It's okay, guys. President Trump has ordered obesity to end.
If the United States reduced
President Trump is going to invade obesity.
obesity,
He's going to kidnap obesity and try it in New York.
type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and Alzheimer's, the Japanese levels, we would save approximately $600 billion a year. About 50% of Medicare's projected long-term deficit, or $5,000 per family annually. Current policy worsens the problem. 42 million Americans rely on SNAP, where common purchases include sugary drinks, candy, and chips. 78% of SNAP recipients are enrolled in Medicaid, and 90% of Medicaid spending goes to chronic disease. These incentives raise healthcare costs and undermine health. This must change. The new framework centers on protein and healthy
Stop. He's already dead.
fats, vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. And you
His speechwriter just made this long because they hate him.
see the food pyramid here?
Okay, let's see the food pyramid. Can't really hear you, though. Your throat's going.
It's upside down, a lot of you will say. But it was actually upside down before, and we just righted it.
Oh my god, it's just like South Park. Have some steak with your butter.
For the first time, the dietary guidelines directly address ultra-processed foods and set firm sugar limits.
All I see when I see this top is just no. If it didn't have those lines there, it'd be fine. But all I'm seeing is like a weird Picasso-style piggy bank. It's not working.
It's in federal procurement, driving a significant reduction in added sugar in school meals. I want to thank President Trump for his leadership and the partners committed to ensuring that
They all went out of the room. Nobody wants to be near. Look, they're all frozen. They're all frozen stiff because they know, or more accurately, they don't know. They don't know what diseases are wafting off of him, and they're all just trying to avert their noses. They're all just trying. It hadn't even occurred to me. He probably reeks, doesn't he? That room is that stage is rank. That's not a place they want to be. Look at their posture. They're all just like. They're all looking away from him, except for this guy on the left, who's just wondering, which one of you is that coming from?
food dollars support real food and better health. Thank you.
I just want to see if anybody steps back when he walks by.
And I want to introduce my partner and a friend, Brooke Rollins.
Look at that arm distance. Oh God. putting her arm around his shoulder, but making sure it's the full length away. And that angle, that ain't touching him. Good on you.
Who was an extraordinary collaborator on this.
Thank you.
And look at that face. The nod and smile that tells you no air is going through her nostrils when she did it.
Well, good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. What a honor to be here. I think this is Caroline's first press conference back, and what a great way to start the new year, 2026.
You're one of us now. They'll never forgive you.
I want to thank Secretary Kennedy.
Look at this. Look at that guy's face. Look at this guy on the left, okay? Just watch where this man very deliberately points his nostrils as RFK Kennedy Jr. Reaches by.
Everyone, Happy New Year.
This guy right here. Watch his face.
Honor to be here. I think this is Caroline's first press conference back, and what a great way to start
here he comes.
The new year, 2026.
Here he comes.
I want to thank Secretary Kennedy. Your commitment to the well-being of Americans is such a blessing to this nation.
Poor bastard.
We have been working on these new dietary guidelines really since almost day one. Bobby and I were voted on the same day and sworn in on the same day. So I think the partnership from minute one has been real and extraordinary. As Secretary Kennedy mentioned, America is in the middle of the worst chronic health crisis in our nation's history. Over 40% of the roughly 73 million children in the United States have.
Okay, I don't care. It's just it's like a parody. It's like a parody. But like fundamentally, what's happening right now is billionaires across the globe are basically colluding to basically just pillage the American state, and every state that America has power over, and to maximize how much they can steal. Right then, and to normalize internationally political power being identified with whoever can curry favor with the billionaires and not with, like actually being in charge of a state with an elected leadership. Do they explain the pyramid? Yeah, it's upside down. What more do you want? Did you not hear them? They said it's upside down. All of these people are going to disappear. All of these people are going to take everything they can, and the ones who are able to are going to flee. They're going to run away with the money. Have you noticed how like the billionaires have gotten a little quiet? They've gotten a little quiet. You don't see Elon Musk chilling with Trump in public anymore, but they're still friendly. That should be a red flag. The people who have the option to not be there when the shit hits the fan, they're not there right now. They've all gotten real quiet. Do we get to eat the chart? You can eat anything. Anything your heart desires. America is a free country.